Hello everyone. In this video, we will talk about the dynamical treatments which we commonly use in quantum mechanics. With dynamical representation or dynamical treatments, what I mean is what kind of techniques which we use to study the time evolution of a system. In quantum mechanics, basically there are three types of dynamical treatments involved, namely the Schrodinger picture, the Heisenberg picture, and the interaction picture. These three pictures are used differently, and each one of treats the system in a different kind of way and devises technique to analyze the system. So we will start our discussion with the Schrodinger picture, followed by the Heisenberg picture, and then to the interaction picture. So let's start with this Schrodinger picture. So in the Schrodinger picture, the state of the system, is usually time dependent. It depends on time, and the operators which are involved uh, or which are connected with the system, they remains independent of time. They do not change with the time. So all of the dynamics of the system, or suppose the particle which we are considering to study its dynamic, is studied using the time evolution of the state vector ket psi in which it exists, whereas the operators, they don't vary with time. So Schrodinger picture is quite easy to solve and understand. All we have to do is solve the time dependent Schrodinger wave equation to study the system at a later time or at any particular instant of time. So this time dependent Schrodinger wave equation is a one-dimensional linear equation which can be solved easily to get the state of the system at any particular time t. So what does the solution of the state of the particle looks like? It If we solve this differential equation, the solution comes out to be something like this: ket psi is equal to some constant psi 0 exponential term with minus iota upon h cross. So what is this psi 0 is? This psi 0 is a constant, and this h is the Hamiltonian of the system. This Hamiltonian of the system in this Schrodinger picture doesn't change with time. It is independent of time. So we see the state of the system follows this particular solution, and it changes with time t, right? So if we expand this exponential, we see the contribution to the state vector ket psi comes from the coefficients of this exponential expansion, right? So the Schrodinger picture is easy to use and easy to handle, but it only exists, but it is only helpful for those systems for which our operators don't change with time. For example, the momentum operator, or the energy operator, or the Hamiltonian, or the position operator. All these operators don't change with time in this Schrodinger picture, and the Schrodinger picture is quite easy to solve and easy to handle. Now let's move on to our next topic, is the Heisenberg picture. So in the Heisenberg picture, our state vector in which the particle exists, that remains independent of time, but the operators which are connected with the particle or with the state, they carry full time dependency. So in the Heisenberg picture, the state vector doesn't change with time. So what does this means? So if we see our particle at time t is equal to 0, if our particle at time t is equal to 0 exists in some state ket psi at t is equal to 0, then at any time t is equal to t seconds, the particle will exist in the same state. Okay, so this is the main idea of the Heisenberg picture. So what we will do, we will try to find a solution of the state vector in which the particle of our exist, and we will try to analyze and see the dynamics of the system. So to see the dynamics of the system, what we will usually do, we will start with the expectation value of the operator. So the main point about studying the expectation value of the operator is, since the operator carries the time dependence, their evolution with the time will give us an idea about how our system is changing. So to get to the dynamics of the system, we will start with the state vector ket h, where h is a subscript I am using for the Heisenberg picture. Later I will drop it for convenience. So in Heisenberg picture, the state of the system ket h is equal to, is written as ket psi at time t is equal to 0 exponential of minus iota hs t upon h cross. So what is this hs? Hs is the Hamiltonian I am taking from this Schrodinger picture. What I am doing is, to discuss this Schrodinger picture and the Heisenberg picture, I am taking the same Hamiltonian. I am not changing it because the Hamiltonian is time dependent. That's why for the both these pictures I am taking the same Hamiltonian. So if we see the state vector of the particle ket h is equal to, this is written at any time t is equal to t seconds, whereas ket 0 or ket size is 0 is written for at time t is equal to 0 second. This exponential term, now many can think, why does this exponential term is coming over here if the state of the system remains time independent? This is because we know that if a particle exists in, suppose we have a particle and it exists in some state, right? And if that state is represented at ket psi, then we know that the state vector of the particle can be written as a linear combination of the many eigenfunctions, right? These many eigenfunctions form the basis on which our state psi ket psi is expanded. So this exponential term over here, this is doing the same job. If we expand this exponential, we will get our ket psi, and these exponential terms will form the basis on which our this whole ket h is expanded, right? That's why we are getting one exponential term over here. So what we will do, we usually know that any observable in quantum mechanics has an operator attached with it, right? Like in the discussion of Schrodinger picture, I have told that position operator has a symbol. Position is usually taken with an operator x cap, whereas momentum is usually taken with studied with using operator p cap, right? So all these operators are for every observable an operator is attached. So we will see the expectation value of the operator. To see the expectation value operator, what we will do, we will take the scalar product, right? The scalar product of the state ket psi in which the particle exists. This is written as like this. So we will use the state ket psi in which the particle exists to solve for the expectation value of this operator. If we do this, we will get something like this. Now what do we put over here? We will use this solution, our ket psi, for the state in which this particle exists, right? So if we put our ket psi over here and solve this equation, we will get something like this: exponential iota ht over h cross o cap exponential minus iota ht upon h minus iota exponential minus iota h cross ht upon h cross. So this solution represents the dynamical the expectation value of the time dependent operator, and what we see here, it is related to the it is related as unitary transformation, means u dagger u is equal to iota, right? But what happens if we take the complete time derivative of this expectation value of operator? Since it is time dependent, we can take its time derivative. If we take the complete time derivative of this operator, what we will get is something like this: d o cap upon dt is equal to iota upon h cross h s comma 0, this is the commutation bracket, plus del o cap upon del t. So what is this? This entire thing is the Heisenberg equation of motion. Through this equation, we can study the dynamics of the motion, how our system is evolving with time, right? So what does this HS is? HS is the Hamiltonian which I have used from the Schrodinger picture, because while studying the Schrodinger picture and the Heisenberg picture, I am taking the same Hamiltonian. I am not changing it. That's why I have take HS over here. So this is the Heisenberg equation of motion, and this equation can be is used to study the dynamics of the system in Heisenberg picture. This is the same equation which we see in classical mechanics. So now let's move to interaction picture. Interaction picture. So what happens in interaction picture? Interaction picture comes with a twist. In the interaction picture, our both state vector carries the time dependency, as well as the operator which is used or which is connected with the observable has time dependency. So there is a twist in interaction picture. In the Schrodinger picture and the Heisenberg picture, we just have only one Hamiltonian which remains independent with time, right? There is no function of time in it. But the interaction picture involves the Hamiltonian, which consists of two parts. One part is time dependent part and the other part is the time independent part. This H0 which we see here is the time independent part. This is also called the free part. The free part is time independent and it is easy to solve. But the main problem causes the time dependency Hamiltonian or the interaction Hamiltonian. Because of time dependency, it becomes quite difficult to solve. Sometimes it is very complicated to solve this time dependency part. So this type of Hamiltonian we see comes in like perturbation theory or in scattering theory. The Hamiltonian which is free from time doesn't play too much role in devising or analyzing the dynamics of the system, but the time dependency Hamiltonian is very important for us. So we will start with the solution of the Schrodinger wave equation in the interaction picture, which takes the form as ket psi I at a time t. Okay, I am writing this at a time t. So this ket psi can be written as psi at a time t exponential of iota h0 t upon h cross. If we see our both operator and the state vector are time dependent, but to solve for the state vector we used the Hamiltonian which is free of time, and what we will do, we will expand this if we expand this exponential part, we can see the how our state vector evolves with time, right? So in the interaction picture, the operators which are time dependent, they are transformed by similarity transformation. What does the similarity transformation means? If we have a matrix A and we want to diagonalize it, then a diagonal matrix D can be written as P inverse A of P. This is what similarity transformation looks like. So in the interaction picture, the operators which are usually time dependent, they're transformed using the idea of the similarity transformation as like this. O cap is equal to exponential of iota ht upon h cross O cap exponential of minus iota hs ht upon h cross. So this is the interacting. If I am writing I over here because we are in the domain of interaction picture. So this OI represents the time dependent interacting operator in the interaction picture, but this operator which we see here is the operator from the Schrodinger picture. Okay, so now to study the dynamics of the system, if we take the complete time derivative of this state vector ket I in which our particle is existing, right, then what we get is something like this: d by dt of ket I. I'm not writing ket I because it is obvious. Ket I is equal to iota upon h cross h zero ket psi I plus e power minus iota h t upon or h0 upon h cross. This is hs, time derivative of the state vector ket psi. Obviously this entire state vector is written in terms of time, so I have dropped this subscript time over here. Now what does this equation tells us? This complete equation can be solved and the solution can be written as d by dt of ket I is equal to hi ket I. In the interaction picture, the dynamic of the system, and the state vector ket I depends on the interaction Hamiltonian which is present in the system, which is usually time dependent. That's why we have to solve the time dependent Schrodinger wave equation to get the idea of how does our system is evolving with time, right? That's why we see the state vector in the interaction picture is depending upon this time dependent interacting Hamiltonian, also called the perturbating term, which is present in the system. This state vector is independent of the free Hamiltonian, right? If we solve this ket I, then we get an exponential solution with time ordered operators. So what does this time ordered operator means? In the time ordered operators, the earlier times always stand to the left of the later times, something like this. Time ordered solution of exponential minus iota integration dt prime hi of t, integration carried from minus infinity to plus infinity. So this time ordered basically means if we are seeing certain, for example, a certain scattering process, okay, a projectile comes and gets scattered from the target and goes to some angle. So if we see the state of the particle before collision was psi I, and after this scattering process happened, it turns out to be f, right? So if we see the state of the system changes after the scattering process had happened. So if we move forward in time, we see the time is progressing, and this earlier time, this will be the earlier time and this will become the later time from the perspective if we go in the forward direction in time, right? First the particle will be here, then somewhere here, then somewhere here, and then somewhere here. In this way our state of the system changes with time, and the operate and the operators and the solution is in exponential with time ordered. The operators are arranged in such a way that all the times are considered in the forward direction, and the integration is taken from minus infinity to plus infinity. Now someone can assert, why does in minus infinity to plus infinity occurs here? But minus infinity and plus infinity doesn't mean anything except minus infinity implies that long of before collision, and plus infinity implies long after collision. So why does this interaction picture is so important? The interaction picture is important because it is studied usually in perspective of perturbation theory and quantum field theory, where interaction are present a normal scattering process and like pair production or pair annihilation, or in Bremsstrahlung process, whereas perturbation theory is general approximation of this interaction picture. A Schrodinger picture is quite easy to solve and easy to handle because it does not involve complex time dependency, and for example it can be solved easily to get the dynamics, to use the study the dynamics of the system, how does our system evolve with time. But the interaction picture, it becomes really difficult because of the interacting Hamiltonian which is present in the system. So these three kinds of interaction are usually used in in quantum mechanics to study the dynamics of the system, depending upon the conveniency. Like we cannot use this Schrodinger picture to study the dynamics in perturbation theory, in perspective of perturbation theory, or in perspective of QFT, right? And we cannot use the, but we can use the technique of like perturbation theory if the perturbation is really very small, to study the dynamics of the system and check how our state of the system is evolving with time. So this was all about the three dynamical treatments which are commonly used in quantum mechanics. Thank you.